Good afternoon and welcome to Ogtv News at Noon. I am Olayinka Shodunke. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun says for the impact of donors and philanthropists to be felt, there is need for them to have a deep understanding of the challenges of the people and come up with detailed strategies of addressing them. Governor Abiodun, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary Kunle Shomori, who said this while speaking at a Foreign Investment Network virtual humanitarian and philanthropic roundtable and award reception, added that the people would only participate and take ownership on projects that address their concerns. Governor Abiodun noted that there had been an increase in the number of institutional philanthropy in the past years, which include private individuals, corporate entities and families, regretting, however, that there was little impact on the socio-economic development of the country. Quoting from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Assistant Committee statistics, the governor disclosed that donors in the last 60 years have granted a total sum of 502 billion naira to the sub-Saharan Africa, which is worth over $866 billion in current price, just as the United States annual aid rose between 2002 to $8 billion, while additional development assistance of $89 billion was granted to Nigeria to support our development goals. He lamented that despite the huge amount, little impact was felt from the receiving population, adding that his state has created a viable development partnership with investors and donors are to consider the interests and needs of the people as projects are situated, not for individuals or groups, but the needs of the recipients to enable them take ownership, which would guarantee sustainability of the project. Prince Dapo Abiodun emphasized that the introduction of town hall meetings in the process of putting together this year's budget was to allow for wider and deeper input, more identifying the needs and expectation of the people so that government could strategically allocate resources towards the successful execution of projects. The governor insisted that the people must be made to participate in the project from inception, while all the levels of government should provide an enabling environment for philanthropists to thrive, maintaining that stakeholders need to explore and introduce regulations to strengthen transparency and accountability in the process, while informing the audience that Ogun State doors are open to genuine investors. The state herdsmen called on individuals, organizations to partner the state government as people crave more partnership in education, health, and other sectors of the economy. The federal government has rescheduled the meeting between the government team, the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress to discuss the economy on Tuesday. Deputy Director, Press and Public Relations, Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment, Charles Akpan, confirmed the development on Saturday. The government stated that the meeting would now hold at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, had announced on Friday that a government team would meet with NLC and TUC as well as other civil society organizations to discuss recent increase in electricity tariffs and petrol price. Ngige stated that the meeting, called on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, will provide the government team an opportunity to open its books to organize labor and explain why it took the recent decisions. But in the message by Akpan, the government noted that it became inevitable to reschedule the meeting since the leadership of organized labor and other civil society organizations were not likely to be available on that day. Ogun State government has promised to maintain high standard in the educational sector to improve the level of performance of the pupils and students in the state. The special advisor to the governor on primary and secondary education, Mrs. Ronke Shoyombo, stated this while monitoring the common entrance examination into the 33 boarding schools across the state. Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
Important to pupils in their final year of primary school who are between 10 to 13 years to enable them gain admission into junior secondary school of their choice. In Ogun State, 21,000 pupils sat for the examination in the 33 centers across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. The special advisor to the governor on primary and secondary education, Mrs. Ronke Shoyombo, and permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Mrs. Abosede Ogunleye, were in Ikene and Ijebu-Ode to monitor the exercise.
This is actually it's a brilliant success because we're starting something new today. Governor Dapo Abiodun, when he came to power, he said he was going to change the examination system. This is the first time we're using OMR sheet, where every child is actually personalized and they have the personalized test papers. To me, it's a brilliant success, and I want to say a big thank you to His Excellency, who had a great vision and is actually giving the enabling environment to be able to do this.
We have gone around and we could see that the children are ready. Those that will be able to scale through, we are ready to take them as well.
Mrs. Ronke Shoyombo reflects on the efforts of the state government towards ensuring each free exercise.
It's a high time that we do it together. Government alone cannot do it. So every parent has got to be more supportive. Where you feel your child is not performing, how do we get extra help? Because this is a time where we need to set up intervention strategies to support all our students. They've missed out in the 5 months, no doubt about that. Because some children have benefited from DigiClass.
Leading a team to Yewa and Ogijo centers, the permanent secretary designate Teaching Service Commission, Mr. Johnson Odeyemi, and his counterpart, Mr. Kende Onosoya, said the examination was in line with COVID-19 protocols, urging parents to monitor their wards for academic prowess. Principals in their various schools visited appreciate the state government for providing all needed resources in the conduct of the examination.
We have over 600 students, and by the grace of God, as early as possible, the parents started coming with the students, and everything went as expected.
Today is very, very fantastic. The students cooperated in the morning. The medical inspection was done, the hand washing was done, and the parents also supported us.
Centers visited were Mayflower School, Ikene, Ijebu-Ode Grammar School, Yewa College, Ilaro, Yewa High School, Igbogila, Emeritus Professor Ogunlesi Model School, Ogijo, Remo Divisional High School, Shagamu, among others. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
And now to the foreign scene. Mali's new military leaders have agreed to establish an 18-month transition government until an election can take place following last month's coup. Spokesperson Moussa Kamara said the interim government would either be led by a military officer or a civilian. The pledge came after 3 days of talks with opposition and civil society groups on a timetable for Mali's return to civilian rule. The 75-year-old former leader flown to the United Arab Emirates on the 5th of September for medical treatment after suffering a stroke-like symptoms, the military said. His former chief of staff said it could be away for up to 15 days. On sports, Japan's Naomi Osaka came from a set-down to beat Victoria Azarenka of Belarus to win the U.S. Open on Saturday to clinch a Grand Slam title. Osaka, the fourth seed, overcame unseeded opponent 1-6, 6-3, 6-3 inside a near-empty Ato Ash Stadium at Flushing Mezbol. It brought 22-year-old Osaka Hall of tennis major trophies to 3 after her victories at the 2018 U.S. Open and 2019 Australian Open. And to end the news, smile at the obstacle, for it is a bridge. Also, let's remind you that you can now watch us on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Windows, BlackBerry, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on our website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live. And that's it on our news at noon. Thank you very much for watching.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
mo kí n pé ẹ káàsán ẹsìnkú ìsinmi Sunday òní ìròyìn ọ̀sán la mú wá fún yín láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Abẹ́òkúta Olúwọlé Fátókùn lóníròyìn yín. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ti sọ wípé kí àwọn èèyàn kí ó tó ní ìmọ̀lára ipa tí àwọn àjọ onínúrere àti àwọn tó ń ṣàánú fúnni ń kó, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ ní òye ní kíkún nípa ìpèníjà tí àwọn èèyàn ń kojú kí wọ́n sì ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn ìlànà lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ láti wá ìyanjú sí wọn. Gómìnà Abíọ́dún nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan látọwọ́ akọ̀wé ìròyìn àgbà rẹ̀ Kúnlé Ṣómọ̀rìn tó sọ èyí lásìkò tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ níbi ìpàdé olókoòwò ilẹ̀ òkèrè kan tó tún jẹ́ ìjókòó àwọn àjọ aláàánú sọ wípé àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tí ó bá ń wá ojútùú sí ìpèníjà àwọn ènìyàn ni àwọn ará ìlú yóò gbárùkùtì tí wọn yóò sì ṣe àbójútó wọn. Gómìnà Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún sọ wípé ńṣe ni ẹ̀lékún ti dé bá iye àjọ àwọn aláàánú láti bí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún sẹ́yìn nínú èyí tí a ti rí aládàáni aláfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ṣe àjọ aláàánú tó jẹ́ ti mọ̀lẹ́bí tí ó sì jẹ́ àìdùn inú rẹ̀ wípé ipa díẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń kó lórí ìdàgbàsókè ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ tó mú láti inú àjọ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ àti ìdàgbàsókè àti ti olùrànlọ́wọ́ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣirò, gómìnà sísọ lójú rẹ̀ wípé owó tó tó bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà $502 ìyẹn $502 billion ni àwọn àjọ aláàánú ti fún ilẹ̀ Áfíríkà fún nǹkan bíi 60 ọdún sẹ́yìn tí iye rẹ̀ sì tó $606 bílíọ̀nù ní àkókò yìí ìyẹn $866 billion bí ó ṣe jẹ́ wípé owó ìrànwọ́ ọlọ́dọọdún ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà á sún láti ọdún 2002 sí bílíọ̀nù $8 ìyẹn $8 billion nígbà tí ó sì jẹ́ wípé ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tún rí ẹ̀lékún bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà $89 billion gbà fún ti àtìlẹ́yìn àfojúsùn ìdàgbàsókè. Ó sọ wípé pẹ̀lú iye owó túlùtúlù náà ìmọ̀lára àǹfààní díẹ̀ ni àwọn ará ìlú ní, pẹ̀lú àfikún wípé ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ti ní ìbáṣepọ̀ ìdàgbàsókè tó lóòrìn pẹ̀lú àwọn olókoòwò àti àwọn àjọ aláàánú fáǹfààní àwọn ará ìlú, nítorí wípé àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tó ń jẹ́ ṣíṣe kì í ṣe fún ẹyọ ẹnìkan tàbí ẹgbẹ́ kan ṣùgbọ́n fáǹfààní àwọn ará ìlú lápapọ̀ kí wọ́n lè rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ohun ìní wọn láti lè ṣe àbójútó rẹ̀ kó sì jẹ́ alálòpẹ́. Ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ wípé ṣíṣe ìpàdé gbọ̀ngàn ìlú nínú ìgbésẹ̀ láti ṣe ètò ìṣúná ọdún yìí ló jẹ́ láti fi ààyè gba àbá àwọn èèyàn lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ láti lè mọ àìní àti ìrètí àwọn èèyàn kí ìjọba lè yọ̀ǹda àwọn ohun èlò fún àṣeyọrí àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tó yẹ. gómìnà tẹnumọ́ wípé àwọn èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ kópa nínú iṣẹ́ àkànṣe kódà láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ kí ìjọba ní gbogbo ìpele sì pèsè àyíká tó fararọ fún àwọn àjọ aláàánú láti gòkè àgbà. Láfikún pé àwọn èèkàn ìlú nílò láti ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àti àmúlò àwọn ìlànà tí yóò ṣèrò lágbára fún ṣíṣe ohun gbogbo ní gbangba yẹ̀wò pẹ̀lú ìṣirò tó péye. Gómìnà jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ fún gbogbo èèyàn wípé ilẹ̀kùn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí sì ṣí sílẹ̀ gbàgùdà fún àwọn olókoòwò tòótọ́. Ó sì ké sí àwọn àjọ ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan àti ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan láti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba nítorí àwọn èèyàn sì tún ń retí ìbáṣepọ̀ sí i ní ẹ̀ka ètò ẹ̀kọ́, ìlera àti àwọn ẹ̀ka ọrọ̀ ajé yòókù nípìnlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ti padà sún ọjọ́ tí ìpàdé yóò wáyé láàrin ikọ̀ rẹ̀ àti ìgbìmọ̀ adarí ẹgbẹ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ láti lè jíròrò lórí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé sí ọjọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun tó ń bọ̀. Igbákejì olùdarí ètò ìròyìn àti ìpolongo nílé iṣẹ́ tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ àti ìgbanisíṣẹ́ nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà Charles Akpan fi ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ náà múlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ Àbámẹ́ta. Ìjọba jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ wípé ìpàdé náà yóò wáyé báyìí ní gbọ̀ngàn ìpàdé tó wà nílé iṣẹ́ ààrẹ nílùú Àbújá, ìyẹn Banquet Hall. Alákòóso fọ́rọ̀ iṣẹ́ àti ìgbanisíṣẹ́ Chris Ngige ló ti kọ́kọ́ kéde ṣáájú wípé ikọ̀ ìjọba yóò ṣe ìpàdé pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àgbáríjọpọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àti àwọn àjọ mìíràn láwùjọ láti jọ jíròrò lórí ẹ̀lékún owó iná ìlẹ́ńtíríkì àti ti epo bẹntiró. Ngige tọ́ka rẹ̀ pé ìpàdé náà tí wọ́n pè ní orúkọ ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari yóò ṣílẹ̀kùn àǹfààní sílẹ̀ fún ikọ̀ ìjọba láti ṣe àlàyé wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́ fún ẹgbẹ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lórí ohun tó ṣokùnfà ìgbésẹ̀ tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wáyé náà. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú ọ̀rọ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ Akpan, ìjọba tọ́ka rẹ̀ wípé ó jẹ́ dandan láti tún ọjọ́ mìíràn mú nítorí wípé ẹgbẹ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àti àjọ mìíràn kò dìjọ ráyè papọ̀ ní ọjọ́ kan ṣoṣo láti lè mú kí ìpàdé ọ̀hún wáyé. Ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ ló ti ṣe ìdánwò ìgbaniwọlé sáwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ girama tó jẹ́ ti ìjọba nípìnlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ikọ̀ akọ̀ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ wa Ogtv tó lọ yíká àwọn ibùdó ìdánwò kan nílùú Abẹ́òkúta tí í ṣe olú ìlú ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn láti tọpinpin bí ètò ọ̀hún ṣe lọ ló padà jábọ̀ pé kò sí ìdíwọ́ kankan rárá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà àti òfin tí ìjọba ti là kalẹ̀ fún ti dídènà àrùn kòrónà. Ètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ ọdún 6 sí kíláàsì àkọ́kọ́ ní àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó jẹ́ ti ìjọba yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ Ajé ọjọ́ 14 oṣù kẹsàn-án ọdún 2020. Akọ̀wé àgbà ilé-iṣẹ́ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ sáyẹ́ǹsì àti ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ arábìnrin Abọ́sẹ̀dé Ògúnlẹ̀yẹ nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan rọ àwọn òbí àti àwọn alágbàtọ́ láti fi orúkọ àwọn ọmọ wọn sílẹ̀ ní àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjọba tó bá súnmọ́ tòsí wọn. Ó jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ wípé ọ̀fẹ́ ni ètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ náà lábẹ́ àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ẹ̀kọ́ kárí ayé nípìnlẹ̀ Ògùn. Wọ́n wá rọ àwọn ọ̀gá àgbà ní àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ṣe ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó ti pé ọdún 6 nìkan sí kíláàsì àkọ́kọ́ nílé ẹ̀kọ́ alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjọba fọ́dún ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ 2020-2021. Ẹ̀yin ará, ẹ jẹ́ kí a máa fi ayọ̀ ọkàn hàn kínú wọn sì máa dùn nígbà yòówù tí a bá ń la ìpèníjà kọjá nítorí pé afárá láti já sí ìkórìtà àṣeyọrí òní ó jẹ́ yóò ṣe é ṣe kò ní jù báyìí lọ lórí ìròyìn wa fún ti ọ̀sán òní. Ó tún dáago 4 àbọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́kẹ́ tó láǹfààní sí ìròyìn lédè Yorùbá, àmọ́ ní báyìí ìròyìn lédè Ògùn ó ń bọ̀ wá fún yín. Mo kì í pé ẹ kú ìsinmi Sunday òní.